your dinner dances were, how many people would be at?
Oh, that's just because anybody that was Irish wanted to go to any Irish event over there. So yeah, our events would have had at least 200 people at them. And that was just for our wee ladies Gaelic team, which seems mad, but
Like,
no, we
how
had a
many
great,
people would be at them roughly?
yeah, like over 200, yeah, between like 2 to 250, yeah, at those times. But we had a great sponsor, Martin Maloney, and he supported us so much. He was amazing. And Bill Barrett, our coach, I'd be remiss to not mention our Bill. But there was the Leitrim Association and the Mayo Association, and there's all these county associations. So they were all like, we were all a big family over there. So it was a big night out. They were at it. They didn't care what we were celebrating or what we were doing, but they
I
were
have an
there.
assistant coach you're pretty friendly with now.
Who's that?
Your husband, no?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did drag poor Andy into coaches a few times, and I mean, like, some of the girls couldn't understand a word he was saying with his Ballymena accent. But he'd be like, "Get down on your hunkers, girls," and they'd be like, looking at, and all the English girls would be like, "What? Get down on the what way?"
What what would advice? Because if you don't know, Andy and Marnie's been going out, childhood sweethearts, and now Marnie,
Since
the lovely young son. And
yeah.
what advice would you give, in terms of balancing both your? Because Andy was one of Balmy's best ever footballers, won 2 championships with Balmy. And,
Mm-hmm.
how did you balance that relationship? Where you're going away and you're training, you're very sporty, he's very sporty. How were you able to balance that relationship? What advice would you give to other couples that are both keen in their sport and don't want to take away from their sport just because they're in a relationship?
I think probably because we were both so into sport, it made it easier because we understood each other, if that makes sense. There might be other couples where the girlfriends were like, oh, he's away playing that football again, whereas I'm like going to watch, or I'm like keen to, make sure that he's getting all his football in, and he knew from his side that that was important to me too. So it was never a problem. We were always just really supportive of each other. It's a bit harder now, of course, now that we've got Conan, to try and balance that. Obviously, Andy's not playing football, but he plays a bit five-side, and he works out a lot and goes to the gym. So it's just making sure that we're a bit even on that side. I mean, I'm out most nights with netball and football and stuff, so he is very patient, bless him, with me. So but he's happy if I'm happy. Happy wife, happy life, isn't it? So
That's exactly it. And Joe, just touching there on, recently had Conan. What age is Conan now?
he'll be turning 2 here soon in May.
Happy birthday, Conan, if you're watching this in the future. What are like, what, just talking about, there's a lot of girls whenever they get pregnant and all, or are going to have kids in the future. What advice would you give to a young Gaelic footballer, female Gaelic footballer, and she's preparing to have a family? What advice would you give to her before pregnancy, and then during the pregnancy, and then after pregnancy? What sort of worked for you, and then looking back on it, what would you say? I could have done that,
Yeah.
because there's probably a lot of there's so much information out there for them. What sort of worked for you?
There is, yeah. So I as soon as I found out I was pregnant, instantly I'm like, oh God, do I have to stop training completely, or who do I speak to about this? So I confided in a couple of people. So Sinead on our team, she's a great asset. She's just joined us a couple of years ago. Really, fit, really, really experienced. But she's had a couple of kids, and is still playing football. So I'd asked her, like, should I still be training? I mean, we were going up to the sand dunes to train, and I was a bit like, oh God, maybe I should, be taking it easy here. I was maybe only 6 or 7 weeks pregnant, so I think I told Sinead before I told a lot of people. And just because of that, I needed to ask, what should I be doing? And she said, just, you can do a bit of cardio and stuff. Obviously, don't be going into shoulder the likes of Kelly Wilson and get in for big tackles and stuff. But I did just train lightly, as if I was already, or as I'd already been, not exerting myself too much. But had to tell Barney McCann, I think, before I told a lot of people too, because he was, Marnie, get stuck in. I'm like, Barney, I like pull him aside, like, Barney, I can't, I'm pregnant. So he was like, he's probably the worst person to tell. He probably told everybody in the town. But am I joking, Barney? Yeah, if I had any advice, it would just be to, you can still train on a bit, but you yourself what you can put your sort of body through at that stage. I stopped soon after that just because I wasn't too sure and confident. But staying involved with the team, I think, is important because, you know, just because you get pregnant, it's not the end of your sporting career. You're not like, you get pregnant, you have a kid, that's the end of me playing any sport and football.
How many weeks into your pregnancy did you stop playing with the team? And then what did you do after that, between that and the pregnancy, in terms of like training and keeping fit? Because I'm sure no one knew it's part of your life, it's part of what you're about.
Yeah.
So what did you do that you found you could do work well, like to keep up?
Yeah,
and then as well, you came back and it looks like you haven't missed it.
I wouldn't say that, my God. I'd say I'd stopped around maybe eight weeks or so. I can't even really remember, to be honest, but I just remember I still went up to training all the time because I didn't want to miss out and I wanted to see what the girls were up to, and making sure I was in, knowing what the team were, you know, the team play and everything. But I just continued on with yoga and that sort of thing. Pregnancy specialized yoga with Mid Ulster Pilates, they're a great team up there. So I would advise people to go to them because they're great. They're really specialist in that sort of thing. And then just afterwards, obviously taking it easy. I had a C-section, so I was out for 6 weeks anyway. But I went then to out to Antrim to Ignite Studios. Kat out there, she specialised in postpartum exercise. So we did a class there. You could bring the baby along and everything, which was really nice. But she's just making sure that your core is strong enough to be able to do certain exercises and that sort of thing. So I think it's to be wise and to be careful with what you're doing. Your body, you'll know your own body, but there are specialist services and gyms and everything out there to guide you through that sort of thing. And then I was back. I remember going back. My first game was the championship after having Conan. I brought my boots, but I didn't expect to play at all. I was just going up there to sort of sit on the bench and be part of the team. And Cormac was like, you're starting. I'd been to a couple of trainings, but I was like, oh Lord. And I mean, actually my first game was a friendly, I think, before that.
What
and
was
I ran on corner forward. But I ran on. Oh, it was the funniest thing. I ran on, and I mean, in the first 5 minutes, sprinted for a ball. My legs were like, what are you doing? I haven't done this in ages. And I just fell flat on my face. My legs were like, you haven't done this in too long. Like, you need to ease into this sprint. And I just fell flat. But after 10 minutes.
What did your defender say to you at that time?
Oh, I think she was away somewhere over there. I don't know.
She's going.
Oh no, it's funny, but no, it's you just have to build yourself back into it and ease back into it. So no, I'm feeling good now this season, so I'm all geared up.
And just that's fantastic information for ladies out there, and because I'm sure they once they've had a baby, and getting back, for a fella coming into pre-season after a heavy winter, enjoying themselves, it feels like a mountain to get back to their fitness. Whereas coming in like for a pregnancy, that mountain, like how long did it take you to get back to sort of where you were, just to give people thing, because it might have been quicker. You're maybe back quicker than some people might think. I'll not be back where I was for another 3 or 4 years, but maybe it was quicker for you.
No, absolutely. Everybody's very, very different, obviously, but I think I'd come back sort of last summer, and I'd try to train a wee bit over winter and everything, but then I joined Stealth Gym in Kilbaggy last summer. So I mean, it's taken me Conan's nearly 2 now, so really I've only started to feel fit probably since I joined Stealth last summer. So it did take a good year to sort of build up to that and then get into the gym properly, so it can't take that long, but you just need to be patient with it. And just,
is it strength training you were doing, or was it rowing, or was it running?
It's both. So their sessions are very much both. So it's Metcon and strength. So strength and then Metcon in every session. So it's a great mix. And that, along with the sport and the cardio and everything. I'm not a runner. I hate running. So I can't get this running bug that everybody seems to get, but I just can't get into it. So I just need to do gym and sport. If I've a ball in my hand, I could run. But no, I feel like running the road and all, not for me.
That's brilliant information for everyone out there. And what was it? Now we're talking about the current team. Flying, you're doing brilliant. We're promoted into what division are we in now?
We're in Division 1, Pete.
Division 1, brilliant. And so what's the girls like at the minute? Is there, who are the chirpy ones? Who are sort of standing, because it's such an age range.
Yeah, it is.
You fall into the middle of it somewhere.
I do I try. I'm the top. The team this year, we're just so excited. We're so geared up. I mean, we've been working really hard already over the past 6 weeks. We've been in stealth doing strength conditioning. But it's just amazing to see the younger girls coming up through, and there's us older ones are definitely fighting for our spots because these girls are just fantastic. They're coming up through this under-14 team that were amazing, the under-16 team, like Anna O'Kane and Clena Matrustri and young Keeley coming through. Like, it's just, that's only named 3. I could name about 10 or 20 of them, to be honest. They're all fantastic. That under-14 team is, I think, one of the best teams I've seen in the club. Amazing. So I'm so excited for them all to come through. So yeah, we're really geared up. The numbers of training are fantastic. So as long as that keeps up and everybody does the work, Cormac has a great plan. So our coaching team now is Cormac and Mickey O'Kane, Barney, and Martha Lemons joined us as well, which is fantastic.
Wow.
So yeah, Cormac has it all planned out to a T. He knows exactly where we're at, where we want to be at, and he's got us running, doing the.
Cormac's brilliant. Cormac, I was texting Cormac the other day. His son made his debut, so to show Cormac's dedication, his son made his senior debut. And I was saying to him, I says, "You must be proud." And he says, "I didn't get to see it, Pete. I was at the girls, so I was he's driven for that there. Him and the work they're all putting in is absolutely brilliant. Mickey Kane, Martha, absolutely star too. And there's such a buzz with the young ones. And what would you say to any of your old teammates who were in the team and still could play? And maybe the odd one might be a Brigids maybe as well, like and all of them. Would you invite them to come back? What would you say to them to come back?
I think we've lost Claire Timoney. I think we've lost her. I wouldn't even try anymore. Every time I meet her, I'm like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" But, I've got one in mind I would love to see back, and that's Michelle McDonald. This is a shout out to you, Michelle. She could definitely be coming back. So we're still at her every season. But no, I'm glad to see still, as I say, some of them old faces, Helena, Sarah, Kelly.
Helena's came back, and Helena looks like she hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah, but now she's having a baby.
All the girls out there, and Helena's got two.
Yeah, she's got 2 kids, but she's pregnant, so she's having a baby here soon again. So we'll have her back for championship, I'm sure.
That's absolutely brilliant. So looking back, just wrapping up, looking back on the years, who would have been the sort of toughest opponent you'd have come up against?
Club-wise?
Club-wise and then friendly-wise?
Club-wise, toughest opponent. I mean, it's always been Money Glass, really. I mean, it's amazing to see just how successful they're doing now. As well, like I love to watch them play, and there's always that great rivalry with Money Glass and St. Paul's. St. Paul's were always such a strong team to go up against as well. So we haven't obviously met them in the last few years. We haven't been in their division, but we're going up to them this year. So I mean, you can only be the best by playing the best. So I think we're gonna learn a lot this year.
Oh, the girls will learn. Like I think that's one of the best teams in Ireland, St. Paul's team, and I think they've actual professional ladies soccer players in that team and everything.
Yes, absolutely.
International soccer players too.
Yeah, absolutely. Them and Money Glass. I mean, it's just that their rivalry I love to watch. It's the 2 of them are fantastic. So, it's great to see these teams. They're really making a name for County Antrim ladies football.
I'm going to say as well that last question. I think Deirdre Kane and Danielle Conley they have to come back. Is the shout out? I know it might you feel uncomfortable, ladies. Yeah. But
welcome back, girls. Come on.
Once you hit 30, you have to come back.
Absolutely.
So, but then, what about rivalry in terms of players? Who would have been the toughest one you'd come up against?
Oh God,
it might not be someone we know, but it's like you and her always just playing against each other, getting the best of each other.
I don't even know. I can't even rack my brain. My memory is shocking. I can't even think.
And over the years, working all the girls you've trained with. Who would have been like some of the hardest trainers and hardest workers that you really took who inspired you in terms of training? They might not have been the most talented, but
definitely even talented as well. But definitely Amy Scullion. She's probably one of the most competitive people I know. And I play netball with her too. She's just always, even if there's a bit of a break going on, she'd maybe be over at the side, improving on some sort of skill or something. Even we went to basketball camp, at basketball camp in Dungannon, she got, I think, the award for, the most the hardest working player, whatever it is. Because she would always be off trying to improve whatever it is that she maybe didn't do right in that wee training drill or whatever it is. So she's always taking me aside and teaching me something about netball, because she's got all these years and experience in netball. She's always teaching me about, sort of the gameplay and everything like that. But always, just determined to get the best out of the session and always determined to win. Her and Kelly O'Hagan, like Kelly Wilson now. She's like my training partner at the minute. We go to the gym. We were playing netball. She's stopped now, and she's playing Gaelic now. She's injured now, which is just gotten. She got injured last week, so she's out for maybe 8 to 12 weeks. So she's totally devastated. But she,
her and Bazzi being her cousin, and played with him, and they're literally carbon copies each other. Just such hard workers, determined, taking no. I love to see her reaction to maybe some of the younger ones.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's not short with her words with them.
No, she'll tell them. She'll tell them if they need to like buck up a bit in their ideas. But she's always, you always hear Kelly. She's always shouting. She's a real leader, but she's always training, at the top of her game. She's always, maybe first in the runs. We're at the gym together. She's always lifting heavier, like trying to build up as much as she can. And if I'm with her and we're, you're doing like a partner metcon or whatever, like she's screaming at me to go faster because she wants to be top of that leaderboard in the gym. And I'm like, nobody cares about those things really, but she's like, I need to be at the top of that. So I always keep her going about that. She's my 100% motivator at the minute. Like she's probably why I'm like as fit as I am at the minute. Like I'm probably one of the fittest stages I've been in a few years, and I give that down to Kelly. And she's the same at football training. Like she's just always, top of the game when it comes to training.
Brilliant. And see, we were talking about like getting people back into the club. We're talking about starting. What was the new initiative that you're hoping to get started? If we can get some interest into it.
Oh, it's got interest. So it's my best friend Annette, as you know, Pete, has just moved to Ballymena, to the area, and she's just completed the Saints and Slimmers program. And that's another thing. The Saints and Slimmers program that the club has started, it's unbelievable. It's one of the best programs I've ever seen. And for her coming into the town, she's now got like 10 new best friends. Just from doing that, like she knows more people in the town now than me, I think. But she's was really keen to get Gaelic Mothers and Others started. So she would have played with me, in England, and she's played football, Desert Martin over the years and stuff. But she doesn't want to come and play senior and come play competitively again after so many years. So she was really keen to get Gaelic Mothers and Others going. So it's really an extension of the Saints and Slimmers. I think she recruited a load of women from Charlie's when they were all singing karaoke last Sunday after their final dance practice or whatever it was. So she got straight on the ball, got all the admin done, all the work done, sent it to Jim Brady, and Jim Brady got a pass there at the committee this week, I think. So I would encourage any woman, even if you've never played, you've never touched a football, it's just another way to get involved in a club. It's a bit of crack. It's it's not overly competitive. I mean, surely you want to go out and play best you can or whatever, but it's a chance to just meet up with other clubs and play with them, and it's very much geared.
We have a club bar now. A lot of people don't know, a really nice bar that you can arrange nights in. And
absolutely, I can see this Gaelic Mothers and Others team live in that bar plenty over the next few seasons. And there's a big tournament down in Dublin for them all to join, and it's just you've seen clips of it, and it just looks like great crack. So I would encourage anybody that any skill level, it doesn't matter if you've never played before, to go along and to get in touch with the club about it, because it's the best initiative. It's some crack. I've seen it been played and it looks like great, and I'm sure I'll be there in a couple of years. No doubt.
That's class. And if anyone's watching this, male or female, get tagging people into the comments section, let them know about this, because it's an amazing initiative, and there's so much going on up at the club that and great work, and it's just, we can let more people know about it, that'd be brilliant. And just just rounding up, what advice would you give to the younger, just in terms of, we'll talk about those younger players. We're going to talk about, we're going to have one more question at the end, but the younger players are just coming onto the side. There's obviously the really talented ones coming up and that are full of confidence. To see those other 5 to 10 players that are nervous and they're young and they're nervous about coming up, what would you say to them? In terms of, and even if they don't go on straight away, what would you say to them? They've got 10, I always said it, you've 10, 15 years to become the best player you can. What would you say? Be patient, or what would you say to them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or would they actually,
absolutely.
they haven't asked you for advice?
Absolutely. I mean, that's it. It's, you know, we were all there at one point. There's older players on the team that you can come to for advice. And, you know, if we see the younger players sort of, that's what's great about our team. Because of the age range, we've got so many experienced players. But you can see all of us are going up to the younger players and helping them along, especially the likes of sort of Kelly and Sinead. They're always going up to the younger players, taking them aside and helping them along. But that's it. It's just everybody works at a different pace. Everybody develops at a different time and different pace. So just be patient with it, and you know, take a ball home. You know, Cormac will always encourage anybody that wants to go home and work on their own skills, just kicking up against the wall or soloing up and down the garden. He'll give you one of the footballs and work on your skill sets. Whatever you need to work on, just do it at home. Grab a couple of the girls, go up to the pitch. Just
back in the day, Marnie, you're the only girl in the house. What were you doing to develop? Because you're one of the most skillful players in the club. Like, what were you doing to keep your skills?
Just running around myself. Yeah. No, it was sort of me and Amy growing up too. We would always just been kicking a ball about and stuff. So yeah, just as I say, I was just always outside doing keepy up bees and things like that. Just anybody I could see with a football, I was just running over and joining in. That was maybe me. I was just a bit more confident in that way. So there'd be other girls that maybe wouldn't go and just join in with other people that are playing football and stuff. But you know, I would just, as I say, just keep at it and don't lose heart at all. I mean, everybody goes through good patches and bad patches as well. So just keep the head up and keep going.
And what would you say to other sports people around the Ballymena area that that could be interested in Gaelic? What would you say to them? When's your trainings?
Yeah, we would love to.
Who should they reach out to if they want to get involved?
Yeah, we would love to see people from all different sports. As I say, I mean, if you can handle a ball at all, you can play Gaelic football. It's you know, I know there's a few different rules that you maybe wouldn't know of or have heard of, but it's, you know, you sort of get into the rhythm of it, and once you've played a couple of times, I think you'd fall in love with it. So just reach out, I think, to the All Saints club page. Our coach happens to be the guy posting up all the things on Instagram and Facebook, so he'd be the first one to see it and to encourage you along and to welcome you along. So we would love to see girls from all other codes of sport.
And what advice, you know, Colin there, he's turning 3, did you say, or 2? 2. So what advice, say Colin's watching this 10, 15 years time, what advice would you give to him in terms of, you know, getting into sport? You know, what would you say to him about the Gaelic games and the club?
Yeah, well, we're trying to push him into Premiership so that we can the Premier League play, so we can hire on that.
I wouldn't be against that either. I'm sure I can get a wee trip there somehow too.
No, I mean, I think obviously we're going to be, you know, trying to encourage him into all sports, but like we'll try him out on all different sports, and it'll be up for him to sort of decide on which he loves. But yeah, we'll definitely be loving to bring him to all the different sport codes that we can think of and see what he sort of excels at himself. We can already see him though, he's obsessed with footballs like us. He's kicking the ball around the house all the time. So we're hoping that continues so that we can sort of live vicariously through him in our older years.
That's brilliant, Marnie. Marnie, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. If anyone wants to get in touch with any of the topics we discussed, send us a message or comment, leave a comment. Also, in the comment section, you'll find a way to donate to the club, where you can buy a plaque with your name or your family's name or one of your family members' name at the side of the pitch. It's called the We Built All Saints campaign, to help with all the great work that all the committee members and volunteers are doing already. So thank you, Marnie, for your time so much. Absolute legend.
Thank you. Lovely. Chat to you soon, Pete.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.